Ethics in Cloud Computing presented by Nathan George.
Good evening, Nathan.
Oh, hey Carla. What brings you here?
Our manager was asked by a friend of him to conduct a seminar at ABC College tomorrow to some students, and he has suggested your name. Since you are the best cloud architect out here, I think you are the apt person to conduct the seminar. Further details will be mailed to you.
Thank you! And no problem. I'll be happy to conduct the seminar tomorrow.
Well, good luck with the seminar.
Okay. Oh, I've received the mail. Ethics in Cloud Computing. This seems to be an easy topic. Let me prepare materials to present as soon as possible.
Next day at the college.
Good morning, students. I'll be taking a class on the ethical considerations of cloud computing as instructed. Whoa, that's great. So, cloud computing is a new generation of computing systems, increasingly developing as a promising solution to deal with the explosion of computing complexity and data size. One of the main concerns to shift from traditional computing systems to cloud is ethical consideration. In many cases, ethical issues depend on particular applications and circumstances. However, we intend to identify ethical issues of cloud, inherent in the fundamental nature of the technology rather than specific circumstances. Okay. There are multiple technological criteria affecting ethical issues in cloud, such as security, privacy, compliance and performance metrics. Along with the technological criteria, a set of rules and regulations called Terms and Conditions, T&C, effects on ethics in the cloud. Sir, what is T&C? T&C is an agreement specifying the rights and obligations of users, cloud providers, and third parties. Okay. Cloud computing enables users to access on-demand services in a pay-as-you-go fashion from any corner of the world. Cloud computing, on the other hand, leads to exposing multiple ethical issues inherent in pushing both services and data from local servers into data centers which belong to an external party. Traditionally, enterprises were buying their own computing infrastructures to run their applications, such as financial analysis, distributed data processing, high-performance computing and many more. In traditional infrastructures, data and services were stored and processed locally, which results in much more control on data in comparison to cloud, in which controls and responsibilities are shared between the application owner and cloud providers. When the hardware is not shared, unauthorized access to data could be restricted easily, due to more concrete data protection solutions in comparison to a shared infrastructure model. However, owning an infrastructure incurs having to purchase hardware and high operating costs, as the result of maintenance and upgrade of software and hardware. Moreover, this approach does not allow the infrastructure capacity to scale up or down depending on the current resource demands. There are various technological criteria having an influence on the rising of ethical issues in cloud. Among them, security, privacy, compliance and performance metrics have a greater impact on ethical issues. When an unauthorized access to your sensitive data resident in a cloud is gained either by a hacker, or by the cloud provider itself or a third party, you may never know who and how your data will be abused, which can lead to several ethical challenges. Therefore, privacy and security mechanisms are obviously essential to avoid such ethical issues. This is one of the ethical issues called privacy and security. Next issue is compliance. A major part of privacy and security mechanisms are formed as a set of standards. A cloud service should comply with a subset of the standards with respect to the application of the service. In other words, compliance covers a set of principles that should be considered during both development and maintenance process of the system. When a cloud-based application in the software as a service model with some privacy or security requirements is going to be launched in the market, it should comply with the predefined standards. If the cloud provider conflicts with the compliance, then it cannot be chosen as a provider by the clients having the compliance requirements. This is what compliance as an ethical issue means. Next is the performance metrics. The expected performance of the provided services are stipulated in service level agreement, which is a part of the general terms and conditions, concentrating on performance metrics. Availability and application response time are a couple of examples of service level agreement metrics. In the case of the violation of the performance metrics of service level agreement, there is a penalty mechanism to compensate the customers. A part of the service level agreement, performance metrics are not highly strict, meaning that in the case of a minor violation, the compensation for service level agreement violation is not made. The last issue that I'll be discussing on are the environmental impacts. An important, easily forgotten stockholder affected by cloud computing is the environment. In 2007, Gartner estimated that ICT industry generates about 2% of the total global carbon dioxide emission, which is equal to the aviation industry. Even though cloud data centers afford to pay the costs of their huge energy consumption. The energy consumption of data centers worldwide is estimated 26 GW, corresponding to about 1.4% of the total energy consumption in the world, with a growth rate of 12% per year. They must minimize the energy consumption along with striving to use as much as a green source of energy as possible. In addition to all these issues, terms and conditions is another criterion, dramatically affecting ethics in cloud. It is a set of rules and obligations that acts as a legal contract between the cloud provider and customer, determining the obligations and rights of all parties. It not only reflects the expectations derived from the technological criteria, but it also contains the conditions and penalties in the case of the violation of the rules, in the sense that what would be the responsibility of cloud providers, what would be that for the application owner, and finally what are the rights of the end users. Well, these are the issues of cloud computing. Thank you guys, and I hope my seminar was quite helpful. Thank you, sir. The main ethics of cloud computing are security, privacy, compliance, and performance metrics. Goodbye.